set of questions is going to go to the Deputy Chair. We will have 8 minutes. Time starts now.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you, Minister. I refer you to the Department's performance statement, page 147 and table 28, and the departmental objective to strengthen Victoria's economic performance through fair, equitable and productive workplaces. Now, in the context of that reference, I also refer you, Minister, to statements by Mr Murray Furlong, Fair Work Commission General Manager, who told a Senate estimates hearing in February that the reported $15 billion figure referred to in Geoffrey Watson KC's Rotting from the Top report was associated with alleged rorts on major infrastructure projects and was consistent with what I've heard from officials from the Victorian Government. So for clarity, Mr Furlong was saying that the findings of Mr Watson were consistent with what he had heard from officials from the Victorian Government. Now, in the light of that, Minister, can you please share with the committee the advice Victorian Government officials shared with Mr Furlong that confirms the $15 billion figure of taxpayer funds having been rorted?
Thank you, Mr Pasuto, for your question. I don't necessarily in a position to detail any of the conversations Mr Furlong has had or who he has had those conversations with, but to suggest that there's any formal advice to him in relation to the manner in which you've described it is not something that's been brought to my attention. And on the claim of the $15 billion figure, there has been no evidence to support that claim, which is why it was certainly removed from what was a draft report that was not in any official way released. The report was adjusted appropriately by the administrator, who issued a statement that he was not satisfied that the claims in that report, the draft report, were well founded or properly tested.
We might come to that in a moment, Minister. I just wanted to drill down into the advice that Mr Furlong says he received. Are any of your officials here today able to shed any light for the benefit of the committee on information that was shared with Mr Furlong?
I'm not, no, Mr Pasuto.
Have there been, to your knowledge, any of you accompanying the Minister aware that there have been any discussions with Mr Furlong?
Well, Mr Furlong is a member of the alliance that we have brought together as a result of the Wilson review. So he has access to advice and conversations, but in what the way you put that, that is not, it's not part of the work he was doing with the alliance that I believe led to the comments that you have put on record there.
So, well, can I ask that inquiries be undertaken, and that if you are able to ascertain whether there were any discussions leading to information being provided to Mr Furlong by Victorian officials, that be provided to this committee?
Well, as you can appreciate, Mr Pasuto, I am joined by Deputy Secretary Matt O'Connor, who has confirmed that he has no knowledge of such things. So I think you are much better positioned asking Mr Furlong yourself. So
you would not be prepared to even make inquiries about the information?
Well, what I'm saying is that Mr Furlong's comments in themselves are not something that support any of the information that I have.
But you can understand the importance of that to the Victorian people, can't you? That if you have a federal official and a senior federal official saying that Victorian officials confirmed, rightly or wrong, let's put to one side whether you agree with what Victorian officials may or may not have said. If a federal official is saying that, don't you think the Victorian people have a right to know and that inquiries should be undertaken?
Mr Pasuto, in relation to those comments as confirmed by the Deputy Secretary who heads up IRV in relation to comments that have come from government, we don't have any information that support Mr Furlong's comments from the perspective of government.
Yep. I refer, Minister, to the $15 billion figure, which I referred to and I think you have referred to also in your earlier answer. The Premier has rejected that. Do you stand by the Premier's position that the figure is untested?
What I will point to again is that the claims were removed from a draft report that was not officially released. In fact, I believe that the reporting suggests that it was a leaked draft report. The administrator who was put in place of the CFMEU was not satisfied that any of the claims were well founded or properly tested. Further to this, there has been, economists make the reflections as well, that the engineering construction implicit price deflator, a measure of price growth used by Australian Bureau of Statistics, shows costs in Victoria went up 36.8% between December 2014 and September 25. So when we're looking at the cost, the rising cost of labour, the amount of people that work on these sites, the amount of cost implications for raw materials that we all know well around the world went up. There are economists that have pointed to the inputs into cost escalations are around workforce and around cost of projects. And even if you look at David Hayward's comments, so he has said that there doesn't seem any reason to believe criminality was financially significant.
Well, Minister, on that, I have limited time.
On the redacted Watson
I appreciate
chapter.
that. I appreciate it. But in the limited time I have, in your capacity as Treasurer, which you're not being questioned on this because you're in charge of a $700 billion economy, you are the Minister for Industrial Relations. Is it your position, and would it be your evidence to this committee, that there has been no money lost on Victorian government big build projects to CFMEU corruption, misbehaviour or illegal activity?
Mr Pasuto, there's no evidence to support the claims of a $15 billion figure.
Well, what would your estimate be? Don't you think you have a responsibility?
Can I finish my answer rather than being interrupted? What I would say is that any criminal behaviour, any inappropriate behaviour on a government work site is inappropriate. That is why you have a task force of Victoria Police that
do you have your own
taking
figure?
Action. In relation to the arrests that have been made, they have been looking at allegations of extortion, fraud, and actually haven't shown whether any of those payments have been made. In the event that that evidence come forward, that would then speak for itself.
But Minister, if I may, Jeffrey Watson is not an official of the Victorian Government. You are in charge of the department, you are in charge of the economy as Treasurer. Do you not have your own figure for what accounts for misbehaviour, rorting and other forms of illegal behaviour by the CFMEU on Victorian-funded projects?
What I have pointed to, supported by independent economists, Mr Pasuto, is that cost escalations on construction sites is very much driven by increased material, equipment costs and issues at particular projects. And as Mr David Hayward has indicated, as an independent economist, doesn't seem any reason to believe criminality was financially significant on any of the government projects.
Thank you. We're going to go to Mr Tack.